In this video, I'm going to show you the exact Facebook ad strategy that's taken my businesses from 300k in revenue to over 2 million in 12 months alone, and drop the cost per lead down from $24 to $13 in just 30 days. Now, first, I'm going to show you the exact structure of how we do all our campaigns. Then I'm going to walk you through everything step by step, the creatives that we use, the exact testing framework, and honestly, this is where most people get it completely wrong and it's costing them thousands. And then at the end, I'm going to give you the 5 exact ad types that are generating the most revenue in all of our accounts right now. Now, here's what makes it different from every other Facebook ads video that you've watched. Now, as you might be aware, Meta's recently rolled out Andromeda, their new AI-powered ads engine, and it's completely changed the game for so many people. The way we structure our ad accounts today looks completely different to it did 6 months ago. The algorithm now wants more volume, more creative, more diversity than it ever has before. And most advertisers have no idea what's happening. That's why the results are just completely dying. The strategy I'm on about shows you how to build this, especially around Andromeda. And it's working right now in our own accounts. This isn't just theory, this is something that I'm actually doing across all my companies, and every single day they're growing. So if you're serious about really scaling Facebook ads in 2026, then let's dive in and I'll show you how. Now, what I want to show you first and foremost is a little bit about how to set up the campaign initially. Now, I'm not going to dive in too deep on this because realistically, this is all about creatives and what makes it perform on Andromeda. So this campaign could be, for instance, a lead campaign or a sales oriented campaign. I've just selected sales for this one. However, one of the important factors here, the only thing that I'll suggest apart from what I'm going to describe to you, is ensuring that you're disallowing the audience that is already purchased or made a lead. There's zero point of doing it because all you're going to be doing is just targeting the same people that have already purchased. And there's better ways of doing that. So with this campaign, and typically with every single campaign that we run, the only targeting options now, we typically do an age, a location, and a gender, depending on obviously which campaign. We do not do any other targeting options apart from them. And this is due to Andromeda. It's completely knocked that out the water. So apart from that, the only thing that we'll do is a custom audience and then basically disallow obviously anything that is already purchased. So you just create a custom audience. You should have a customer list already, or if you're using something like an API, then feeding them back in automatically, which is the preferred option. But if not, just create a customer list, stick it in there into a CSV file, and then disallow it. And it's as simple as that. So to do that is pretty straightforward. Just go into one of your custom audiences, select it, and then just do a little drop-down menu and then exclude this audience. And then you can make sure that no one's going to be seeing your ads that's already purchased. So apart from that, we're going to go into the actual setup of the ads, which is the most important part. Like I said before, Andromeda is all about creatives and having that diversity across the board. So we're going to ensure that obviously diversity is there. So what I'm going to show you here now is basically a setup of how we do all of our campaigns, and again, this is what's created the success and the figures that I've mentioned. So what we're going to start off with first and foremost is a customer profile. So I'm not going to use the customer persona tone because we all have heard that in marketing terms, but customer profile. So basically, what does that customer look like? Is it female? Is it male? Is it both? Is it someone that's interested in sports, exercise? Obviously, you need to work that out as a marketer and then basically have that as your point of view straight away. The next point is your viewpoint. So basically what a viewpoint is how are they going to potentially interact with your ads and then either submit a lead or actually purchase a sale. So for example, one of my businesses is in the fitness sector. So the customer profile is typically a female over the age of 40 that is looking to get healthy. So a viewpoint could be they want to lose weight. Simple as that. They just want to get healthier. The second one is they want to build in confidence. So they're not confident in themselves currently. And then the third one typically is because they just want to feel good about themselves and they want to be in a group of other people. And as simple as that. So there's typically 3 viewpoints. Next to that, what we've got here is basically all of our creatives underneath. Now, typically we use between 4 and 6, and this is really going to depend on like how much creatives you can do. Sometimes obviously in a business you can't obviously get access to as many creatives as you'd like. So, you know, in an ideal world, we could create 6 because obviously it's the best case scenario because we're going to get lots of variety. But if you can only get 4, then that's fair enough. Just use 4. So once you've created all of your different viewpoints, then obviously the ads would relate to that viewpoint. So this one here, for instance, if this one here is about someone losing weight, all of these creatives here have to be about losing weight. I hope that makes sense. So the next point, again, if that's about feeling confident, how can these relate to feeling confident? Now, the key here, which is very different to how ads have been previously set up, is you would typically batch your ad creatives into ad sets. So for example, you'd put all images in one, all videos in one, but they would be different. Now what this does is basically it's the viewpoint that's different, not the and the creative, should I say. So within each viewpoint, we want to put different types of creative that hit the mark slightly different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each one and then explain my theory. Once we've got this structure in place, what we want to do first and foremost is leave it between 5 and 7 days. Now, ideally 7 days. However, I can look at a campaign and instantly see after 5 days if it's going to work. Other people might say you need to leave it 7. I personally don't believe that. I think some campaigns, not all, you can see after 5 days, but then you want to review the results. What you want to do is highlight the ads that are performing, and it's quite easy. Like if it's sales, which ones have produced the sales? If it's leads, it's which ones produce the leads. It becomes a little bit more difficult when it's more lead based because it's quality of lead, not just the quantity. So there's a different process in that. But obviously just from the face value, you can see exactly what types of creatives are working. And then what you want to do is move the strongest campaigns into a scaling phase. So there's 2 ways of doing this. You can just set up an overall campaign regarding that 1 or 2 viewpoints, or you can simply just keep that structure as you've got it and then just add more creatives into that viewpoint. The key is you've got the viewpoint that's working, and that's the key to all of this. And then most important thing, which people just completely fail on, is just keep trialing fresh ideas. Like at the end of the day, this new Andromeda update just wants you to feed it content. And the best way to do that is just keep trying fresh new ideas. So don't keep reinventing the wheel. You can do them, but just keep coming up with fresh new things that you think that are potentially going to work. Next, we have the creatives, and we're going to dive into type 1, which is a business owner VSL, and it's probably the biggest kickback that I hear from business owners and people. They hate getting on camera, and I don't understand why. We're living in a world now where people want to see people buy off people, as we know. So I'm a massive believer in this, and for me this is one of the best converting types. So if you're worried about not getting on camera and how to speak and you're going to make it feel like yourself, everyone thinks that, but this will convert. Within an owner VSL video sales letter, what we want to do is we want to explain why that founder has started the company, you know, their own story. That's the most important bit. Like how did they start the company? Where did they come up with the idea, and explain the brand? And then we want to focus on the reason, like why they decided to go ahead with the idea. You know, they came up with it, but there's got to be a draw of why they actually started the business in the first place. And then, especially strong for newer brands, it's important that this stage isn't missed, because if you're brand new and you're just getting yourself out there, then what makes you different to other brands? And typically, founders don't like this. So that's your competitive edge. And obviously why it works, you know, people connect with real stories. Like, I don't have to tell you that, it's fact. It builds trust and credibility and a stronger emotional reason to buy. And it's so true. I can't rate this enough. And if you're gonna do anything from this video, make sure you do that. Next, we have customer testimonials. Now, there's various ways of doing this. Obviously, you can just do a graphic like this. They do work incredibly well. So you're basically just taking a real review, don't fake it. Put a real review from Google or your Facebook account or Trust Index or Trustpilot, whatever you want to do, but make sure that it's real. This picture, this driveway, and this testimonial is from a real company. So it's not fake. It's completely real, and if they go on to Google or Facebook or wherever they want to go to, they'll find this review, and that's important. I think if you try and bluff your way through this process, you'll end up not getting the results that you want. Use customer reviews, testimonials, and again, real user content, like I say, and then let happy customers make the case for you. It's obvious, isn't it? And then show people who already trust you that they get results. Now, you can also do, which also works really well, is video testimonials, because it's better social proof than a graphic. Like, you can fake this, this is fakeable. However, someone on camera actually speaking the truth is a lot harder to fake. So it always converts, in my experience, a little bit higher. But again, just use what you can use. So that could be if you've got the capabilities, go and video in a customer. That works really well. However, just get them on a phone. Get them on a phone in front of a camera, and then just get them to speak about your service, about why they chose you, etc., etc. Works incredibly well, and it does convert very, very well. Next up is urgency-led ads. Now, I really rate this, to be fair, and it's quite obvious when you think about it. People need a reason of why to take action. Just seeing your ad, seeing your product, leading them down the garden path isn't enough these days. You need to give them a reason to stop what they're doing now and take action. Bearing in mind, they haven't searched for this. We've stopped them scrolling on a Saturday evening while they're trying to watch a film with the wife or the husband, and then we're trying to get them to make action. It's as simple as that. So what urgency-led ads do is make them take action sooner rather than later. And this is a good example. This is a live example in one of our businesses, and it works incredibly well. The actual product is £99, and the conversion rate is unbelievable. We're actually converting a cost per lead around £8. So the return on investment is just unbelievable with this. And why it works, for a couple of reasons. The first one being that it's an early bird offer. So that's part of the overall strategy. We're doing it in 3 waves. And if you look at ticketing companies and events, they always do that. And then there's limited availability. We genuinely have limited the amount of tickets available in that early bird stage. And it's as simple as that. And you can see here, obviously with the limited availability, you can see early bird, quite simple. And also as well, why this works really well is you can see what the price is going to be in wave 2 and wave 3 and when they're going to be available. Again, I can't rate this part enough. It does everything you want it to do in one simple graphic. And out of all of the creatives within this business alone, this one has the best cost per lead and the most leads. So yeah, but again, highlight your offer, limit availability. Again, what I've just said, use Anchor there's only so many tickets left. So we'll take this up a step further. So when we've only got maybe 20% of the tickets left, we'll take it the step further, enhance the concept, and then make it clear why they're going to miss out. That FOMO, no one likes that, whether they say it or not, they don't like it. So that's why it works really well. But this is a really great ad type. Now, the next is objection handling. The reason why this is so successful is because every single potential buyer or lead submission has an objective of why they're not taking action. So what we're trying to achieve by doing this is combat them objectives so that we get them to the other side, and it's as simple as that. So for instance, we'll go into the same event here. So with this event, one of the objective is price point. It's as simple as that. And because of the way that we've done the pre-sales, it's fallen into a middle of a month, which always makes it difficult with physical sales, because obviously you're waiting for payday, as a lot of people do. One thing we recognized quite quickly was this. So we stuck a Klarna buy now, pay later option, and all of a sudden we've overcome that objective, because they can pay that in 3 payments, they can pay it in 12 months, they can do a range of different options, so it's taken it off completely. Another example of this is, one of the objections is they don't feel like they would be fit enough to attend a full day event. Quite rightly, I don't know if I would be, even though I go to the gym. However, doing a full day is a lot of work. So what we've done is we've created other ad types which overcome that. So you don't have to take part in every class. If you wanted to have an extended break, you can. They are a range of classes, so it's not all upbeat. Some are meditation, some are motivational. All of a sudden, we've overcome all of them objections, because if you don't do that, all you're going to do is get them to go to the landing page and you won't check out. So this is really important. But like I say, just call out the reason. You just make it so obvious like this. Like, this bit is so obvious, and all of our ads are very much similar like this. This just works really, really well. I can't stress that enough. So next type is mistake-based ads. Now, here is a little example of it, but basically is a mistake of why they're not achieving what they want to achieve. So here's an example of it. Like, someone that is into fitness, and again, I've gone with the fitness theme because we do a lot of my business is related to it. Someone that wants to lose fat and they're doing cardio alone and they're not losing the fat. Now, I know, because I'm heavily into fitness myself, is cardio alone doesn't do that if your diet is out of sync. So basically, this is an app that will track your diet along with your cardio, and it's quite an innovative thing, but it basically can map out how much cardio you need to do versus how much food intake, etc. There's a lot of other things to it, but that's a mistake that loads of people make. They think they can out-train a diet. So we point that out, like, you can't just do cardio alone, like, to lose fat. As simple as that. Like, we made it so obvious again. Like, you can't do that. It's a common mistake that a lot of people do that aren't into fitness. And then explain why it's costing them. As simple as that. You know, like, they're making all the effort, which is hard, and then they're not getting the goals that they want. So point that out. And it's as simple as that. That's what a mistake ad is, and it basically works really well as well. So they're the typical 5 ads that we run. However, I've added a little Brucey bonus, a number 6, which is a problem-led ad. So basically, it's an issue that they might be feeling, and then it's an obvious fix. So this is an example of it, right? So now these are the 5 best ad types that we're currently running. However, there's a variety of different types of creatives. You can do things from your old-fashioned VSLs that aren't founder-led. You could do us versus them types of ads. There's so many varieties, and obviously they stretch out over different categories of business. But typically, I wanted to narrow it down to the 5 types that are working really well for us, and just basically show why they're working. Now, there's a whole variety of different ad types that I could go into. However, I just wanted to highlight the top 5 that I'm currently using within all my businesses, which are performing the best. Obviously, you've got things like us versus them. You know, that's also a great type of creative. So you can showcase someone that's already got a product or a service, and then showcase why you're better. They work time and time again. It's a bit of an old school one, but it still does work. Next, you have something like, you know, just a traditional VSL, not founder led. Again, also work really well, and they convert like crazy. But again, I just wanted to showcase what is working for us, and obviously, it depends on the category of business that you're in. Anyway, make sure you follow everything I've showed you. Make sure you do it within 5 to 7 days. Don't have any ads turned on that are producing nothing after that period. Make sure you consolidate down. And I guarantee that if you follow this strategy, it will work for you. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure you like and subscribe for more content like this.